Hello and welcome to the Truly Bedrock Rundown. I'm your friendly neighborhood shepherd Tamer.
And I'm Jessie B. Whilst you're here, spread the Truly Bedrock love to our links in the description below.
And let's jump into the trials and tribulations that occurred on the Truly Bedrock realm this week.
This week, it only seemed fitting that we start off with Foxy. He and Zoe cleaned up Groova's latest prank in the Nether before testing out his bank defense systems, which worked pretty well as he nearly died in an attempt.
I'm gonna have to, Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, this is a good opportunity, isn't it? Let's use our fire resistance. Oh man, well at least we can get rid of it now. That was not intentional. Oh my goodness. Right, okay, so let's get rid of that scaffolding. There we go. Let's hopefully most of that will despawn and let's try and make our way out of here as quickly as possible.
So he challenges the whitelist to rob his bank. Now, let's roll that VT.
To carry on with Foxy, he decided to help out a friend. He changes Slack's iron shop into a diamond shop. He also hides his sheep of dreams in the vault of the bank. Zloy, if you are watching, you did not hear that.
Sheep of Dreams number 1, you can come and stand next to that fence post there. And Sheep of Dreams number 2, actual Sheep of Dreams, you can go and stand next to that fence post just there. There you go. So we now have 2 Sheep of Dreams hiding away securely in the vault. And
After learning that 1.10 would most likely ruin his beacon factory, Silent and Zloy decided to go out with a bang.
Alright, so we have done the grind, many hours of AFK killing withers. We ended up with 28 nether stars, which is pretty awesome. And 1 more wither skeleton skull to boot. I guess we'll frame that somewhere.
Hooray.
You got some room for that in the museum?
I mean, we lost the first one, so might as well put the last one in there.
Yeah, pretty much.
To get back into that positive mindset, Satin improves his quad iron farms. He then experiments with some of the new features that came along with 1.10, including his favourite feature of the client-side inventory lag. Rogue goes to check on his casino profits, only to find out he had been robbed. Crime seems to be a common theme on this realm.
Okay, now if the other one is empty, and the other one is empty, I'm keeping my cool right now, but clearly we have just been robbed.
With nobody online to question, Rogue then builds a dock for his boat. And to show off his technical side, he then goes on to experiment with his auto wool farm.
Okay, the 6 minutes is now up, and let's go ahead and check what we got here. And I'm just kind of looking at the grass right now because usually when I do something like this and in the tutorial, I've only used 2 sheep. I've never tried it with 4, so I think trying to determine the efficiency of this is finding that sweet spot of how many sheep to put in here and then how fast it takes the grass to grow back, because you can see this is where it started and they pretty much made their way back around. Now I don't know if we can get a fair evaluation out of this, And the reason behind that is because, so I'm going to check what we have, but I can't say, so that's 50, and let's say subtract 2 because of that last cut. That just happened while I was talking. So, like if I were to take 50 times it by 10, we can say 500 an hour. But
Daphne narrowly escapes death this week, no thanks to Zloy, and accidentally murders a pufferfish. Don't worry though, she gave him a hero's burial.
This guy! He hit a... Oh no, I killed a puffer. And so, after such a sad and painful death of that poor little puffer, we're moving on to today's episode.
Daphne then works on her pufferfish cockpit, fully decking it out while taking advantage of the new loom block. Slack spends some time, along with Prowl, optimizing the massive kelp farm that they built last week.
It may have been causing a bit of lag. Well, that and the insane number of drowns spawned right outside his slab perimeter.
Right now, and I don't think this is the only contributing factor to this. Literally, I was looking around in the ocean a while ago, and there's literally maybe hundreds of drowns around this perimeter.
Oh wow, yeah, we're gonna have to fix that.
DB finally gets his audio issues sorted out. He also tries his hand at Foxy's safe challenge, which he succeeds at completing. Congrats, DB.
Hopefully, my audio's a bit better today. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been having 1 or 2 issues with my audio lately. I don't know if it's come across in the videos or not. You'll have to let me know. But basically, it came down to an app I was using to monitor my mic. It's weird. It's silly, but it sounded right in my ear. But when I listened back to the recording, it was always fuzzy and weird. So basically, after I figured out what it was, I've just got rid of that app. So from now on, hopefully the audio is a bit better.
After that, DB writes a special book for the future bank robbers. A rather humble and gracious book, might I add. Cuban decides it's a good idea to get into a dogfight with Zloy above the island of the undead. Sadly, it's not long before he realizes his mistake when he runs out of rockets.
After escaping through a secret passage, Cuban does some sand gathering again in order to escape his island. He then finishes the bottom part of his tree, which looks incredible.
But I think I'm pretty much finished with the tree part of it, or the trunk part of it, because this thing is looking rather good and rather nice, and it kind of reminds me, I don't know if anybody's ever played like Zelda, I think it's called Ocarina of Time, back in the day of the not 19, but in the Nintendo 64 days. Yeah, this kind of reminds me of the Great Dooku Tree. If you guys know what I'm talking about, we'll go ahead and land and kind of get maybe a better view than just kind of flying around. Whoops, I didn't want to drop that.
Prowl constructs himself a barn to finish off his cow farm. It's no cow blimp, but it's pretty beefy.
Brought this all the way up. We have a little break there. Goes all the way up. Nice and even. That was the easy part, other than having to go and get sand multiple times, because making this smooth sandstone is kind of expensive. Here's the front. So we did the dark oak here. And I think it looks pretty good. Maybe something still needs to be done here. I don't like how they just combine it like that. I don't know. I might leave it. And then it looked kind of weird on the edges right here, so I just added these extra slabs in, and I think it gave it like a certain depth and dimension. It helped it out a lot. Threw in some dark oak up there as well, which I think again gives it a different texture and a little bit more depth, and it just makes this thing come alive a little bit more. So I'm very happy with that. And then we have our porch. And this porch was kind of hard because it took me a while to figure out, like, what did I want to make it out of, and how long did it need to be, and how wide did it need to be.
While snooping around, he finds Cuban's mending villager. We thought that was meant to be a secret. After which he adds the final touches to his barn.
It's up here. Oh, who's this guy? What kind of things you... Oh, DB? What are you doing here, buddy? I see what you're doing. Trying to put me out of mending book business, huh? Well, I think everybody's probably already got them at this point, but I don't like what's going on here at all. I got my eye on you, buddy.
After admiring Daphne's steampunk pufferfish submarine, Zloy decides to leave some friends behind as a present for her. Maybe Zloy isn't so bad after all.
And here we go, adding the most important ingredient. The miracle of life. Oh, you thought that's it? No. I had approximately another inventory full stashed away beforehand for this video. It's so sad that I'm already getting used to the chest thing. Mojang, please, fix your stuff.
And after making a horse statue using the 1.10 lecterns, Zloy then changes his library to become more functional.
But this is also where we bid a sad farewell to the old Dewey Decimal System. Alas, it has outstayed its welcome. You see, this whole time we've been dedicating one separate book to each and every episode, to each and every comment. From now on though, there's no need in that anymore. From now on, we can craft a written book and quill, and just kind of fill it in for however many pages, and just place it and easily flip through it without having to do any additional clicks. Which basically means that we're not interested in holding the comments separate to each and every book. From now on, as long as the comment doesn't last for more than 2 pages, we can just write it here, and each flip of the page will be dedicated to a certain episode.
This week, Groover spent too much time hiding away in the new beta to release an episode, but we'll be sure to catch him next time.
And that's all for us today. Be sure to hit that like button and follow us on Twitter for all of the latest updates. We hope that you have a truly amazing day.
Goodbye.